Welcome to the National Museum of Ireland Natural History, sometimes called the Dead Zoo. My name is Geraldine.
And I'm Emma. We are both zoologists and museum educators. Today we're going to take you inside the museum to see some of the animals and learn more about them. Let's go!
This science museum opened its doors over 163 years ago, and today it has over 10,000 animals and fossils for you to see up close. Discover the wildlife of the Irish Room and fossils of animals that used to live in Ireland long ago. Visit the Mammals of the World exhibition, where you can get nose to nose with some of the largest creatures on Earth, from whale skeletons to elephants and even a tiger. And don't forget to look at the balconies, where you'll find lots of fish, reptiles, birds, insects, spiders and much more. You can visit the museum to see all these exciting animals, or visit the website to see more videos and a 3D virtual walkthrough of the museum, on which you can learn more about the exhibits from the comfort of your own home or classroom. See if you're able to spot your favourite animal. Could it be the rare giant panda? Or maybe a basking shark, the biggest fish in the Irish Sea? Step inside one of Ireland's most visited museums, where there are lots of amazing things to learn and explore.
These animals are all very different, but they all have one thing in common. Can you think of a word people use to describe when a species or type of animal is no longer found living somewhere? That's right, it's extinct. To be extinct means to no longer exist, like the dinosaurs. But there are many more examples of animals that have become extinct over the history of life on Earth, and there are many different reasons why an animal might go extinct. Can you think of any? Some examples are through overhunting, climate change, natural disasters, habitat loss or losing the places where they live, or pollution. These things can be natural, like how the dinosaurs became extinct, or they can be caused by humans. One of the most amazing things you can see at the museum are these giant skeletons. Have you seen a similar shaped animal anywhere in Ireland before? You may have seen deer, such as the red deer in Killarney National Park in County Kerry, or the fallow deer in the Phoenix Park in Dublin. These are the fossil skeletons of another type of deer that also used to live right here in Ireland, the giant Irish deer. These amazing animals roamed the grasslands of Ireland over 10,000 years ago. Unfortunately, we can't see them today because they are extinct. So, how do we know that they lived here in the past? We know this because their fossil skeletons were found under the bogs in Ireland. Scientists think that these giant Irish deer went extinct even before humans arrived in Ireland, and some think that they went extinct as a result of natural climate change. There was a long period of cold in Ireland about 10,000 years ago, which lasted for 500 years. During this time, Ireland was covered in a blanket of ice and snow. Plants disappeared and the deer could no longer find food to survive, so they eventually went extinct. This jawbone belongs to an animal that used to live in Ireland over 30,000 years ago. Look at those sharp teeth. This is a fossil which was found in a cave in County Cork, and it belonged to a spotted hyena, like this one, from modern-day Africa. Ireland was once home to hyenas, brown bears, and even woolly mammoths. At the museum, we have evidence that all of these animals once lived in Ireland. They came to Ireland by walking from Europe. Back then, the sea levels were much lower, and that meant there were land bridges between neighbouring countries. When the sea levels rose over many thousands of years, Ireland became cut off from other countries. When the climate changed during the Ice Age, many of these animals could no longer survive in Ireland and were unable to move back to warmer parts of Europe. This is how many of these animals became extinct. When we think of extinction, we imagine animals that are extinct throughout the world and can no longer be found anywhere today. But did you know that an animal can be extinct from just one part of its natural range? This happens when an animal becomes extinct in one area, but can still be found in other areas. This is called local extinction. This animal is called the grey wolf. And although it can be found in other parts of the world, it has become extinct in Ireland. Did you know that wolves used to live in Ireland? The Irish word for wolf is mac tíre, meaning son of the land. There is evidence of wolves living in Ireland from about 30,000 years ago, long before humans arrived, and they continue to live alongside us right up until 1786. There are many mentions of wolves in Irish legends and in many Irish place names and surnames. Under English rule, the government saw the presence of wolves in Ireland as a bad thing, and they began to try and get rid of them. Rewards were offered to anyone who killed a wolf. Soon their numbers declined, and it's thought that the last wolf in Ireland was shot in 1786 on Mount Leinster on the Wexford-Carlow border. Though wolves are now extinct in Ireland, they still live in many other countries around the world. Recently, they have even been reintroduced or put back into areas where they used to live. Protecting an animal like this is known as conservation. Examples of wolf reintroductions include Yellowstone National Park in America, and France and Spain. Can you think of any reasons why it might be important to save or return extinct animals? One reason is that they have an important job, keeping nature in balance. Wolves hunt deer, and without wolves, deer numbers can go very high. And those deer eat too many plants and trees, which then stops other animals from living in the same area. Wolves help keep deer populations at healthy levels and hunt the weak and sick deer, so the herds are healthier overall. A great example is Yellowstone in America, where they were reintroduced in 1995. Wolves have made the entire habitat a healthier one, with more wildlife than before. However, wolves need an awful lot of wild habitat and space to live in, and the Irish countryside has changed a lot in the last 200 years. There are much less forests and wild spaces, and many more farms and houses. Some people have spoken about the idea of maybe returning or reintroducing wolves to Ireland. Do you think it would be a good or bad idea, and why?